Hi friends, welcome to No Sleep's Garage. Today may be the moment you've all been waiting for. Or maybe it's the moment you didn't know that you cared about. Or maybe it's just somewhere in between. But today, we're gonna get my full take on Austin's Stick Shift Vic. That's right. Today we are gonna be driving the 1988 Ford LTD Crown Victoria with the manual transmission swap. Some of you may have watched Austin's video on this already. I did kind of give my initial take. I've had a little bit more time with it now. I've also, well, looking at some streaks here, tried to clean the windows. But we're gonna do a full-blown test drive. We're gonna talk about what the experience is like. A couple of things I can tell you just from the rip is I'm really excited to see what Austin's gonna do with this thing. It is very unique, but she's not running right now. So you may know there's shorty headers running out to an H pipe, running out to Flowmasters, that there is nothing behind those Flowmasters. She runs rich. She runs real rich. The smell out here is exhausty. I've let this run for a couple of minutes, just let her get some things going, got the air conditioning up and going, just to try and keep it cool. I know Austin's had some intermediate idle issues with it, with the AC running, but AC is running. It's cooler in the car right now, and it seems to be, as you can hear and see, idling okay. So we're gonna take it for a test drive. I am headed back out to Buckeye Lake, and we're gonna do a full run. So bear with me, and let's go have a journey. All right, friends. So before we take off, let me give you a quick tour of the interior. As you may be able to see here, without my hand in the way, this is a very standard Crown Vic. Tucked behind the tack is our trundle, but obviously there is no longer a column shifter. There is a aftermarket tack that's been mounted along with some additional gauges here. I haven't done all of the work that I need to do, or quite frankly any of the work that I've needed to do yet, but oil pressure is working very well. Coolant right now is not registering, so we'll keep an eye on that. Interesting, I just blipped the throttle, and all of a sudden it was not wanting to idle right, so I've just shut the AC off. Like I said, it's running rich. It does smell a little rich in here. My clothes, I'm sure, stink. Luckily, I'm going to be spending most of my time outside today. But we do have to my understanding, a T5 transmission in here. Upgrades that I'm going to be doing here soon for Austin. Going to be a new stereo, something that's got Bluetooth, along with a couple of new speakers. We're doing 4 inches for the dash, and for the rears, I need to find out whether or not those are 6x8s, which is a common Ford size, or whether they are in fact 6x9s, which I have seen reported. Alrighty, let's go for a drive. Yes, as you may have seen in the Saab video, I do all my own driving stunts. And we've stalled. I will say that was not a stall related to the clutch, as literally I didn't even let off the clutch as I'm in reverse here. That is just because of that inconsistent idle that we do have with the Vic. So we're gonna try and iron some of these things out just a little bit here while driving along. A couple of things that I have noticed is the rear power windows do not work. The motors are going, but the windows stay in place. So I am not sure whether that is a window regulator issue, cable issue. There could be a couple of different things. I haven't taken the doors apart to figure it out. In regards to the front windows, at least both front windows do work, which is nice because, well, it can get a little warm in here, to say the least. Alright, let's try AC again and just see what she does. Alright, well, now that we are cruising just a little bit, we've got an engine speed moving faster than idle. We seem to be doing okay, so I'm gonna keep it going, gonna let her rip and just kind of see how it goes. Hopefully we don't run into issues. When it comes to drivability, the Vic is an amazingly comfortable car. If anyone's grandparents have ever had one, if you owned one yourself, the Panther platform was really a reintroduction to the full-size car. As we exited what we call the OPEC years, basically the places where oil prices were super high, availability was very low, we moved from those super large boat vehicles into something smaller. So the Ford LTD went from this gigantic car that was like 25, 30 feet long onto the Fox platform. So the same platform that underpins the Ford Mustangs from 1979 through 1993. And so that was the LTD, the Fairmont, the Mercury Zephyr, and the Panther came out in it's either 80 or 81, and really they started to bring back more of that full size, more of that bigger body vehicle. The Panther underpinned obviously the Crown Vic, the Ford Grand Marquis, the Country Squire station wagon, the Lincoln Town Car. That was another big one. Town Car, probably the most popular limo of my generation. So ultimately, if you're over the age of 30, you've probably ridden in a Panther of some form. If you've ever been arrested by 95% of police forces before 2013, you've ridden in a Panther, as the Crown Vic stayed there. If you've ridden in a New York City taxi up until about 2014, 2015, when support for the Crown Vics really started going away, you've been in a Panther. So that being said, they never made one of these with a stick, ever. So anyone that you find is pretty sure it was a 6-speed. But this thing was set up for drift. It was black. It had the Cobra wheels on it. It just looked mean. And honestly, the price wasn't bad. I think he wanted, it was less than $6,000 for it. So in the scheme of things, not bad for the amount of work that very clearly went into making it what it was. Alrighty, we're cruising along. Still AC is blowing pretty nicely. It's nice and cool. There's a little bit of a drone at 65, 68, somewhere in that range, which I think realistically can be alleviated by completing out the exhaust. This is a very unique car. It's comfortable. It's plush. It is not really what you'd expect from a driving experience. It's not fast, but it feels fun to drive. A couple weeks ago, I had the distinct, I'm going to call it honor, to drive a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Rolls-Royce Cullinan, this is not. By any way, shape, or form. The suspension is floaty. The seats clearly have 40 years worth of butt wear in them, and all in all, like, it's not a bad car, but yeah, it's not the lap of luxury or anything along those lines either. So I really don't have any other complaints. I do think that this is a unique car. Cruise control is non-operational, and ultimately, sometimes these things happen. I'm going to be totally transparent with you. I've been debating, do I drive this all the way out to Buckeye Lake? Not that I don't trust that it'll make it. It just, I don't know, it's not happy. It's definitely not happy with running the AC. I am a little concerned that the temperature gauge is all of a sudden not working. Oh, no, never mind. It's just reading super low. It's reading that it's 150 degrees, which leads me to believe that this either has a thermostat that's stuck open, or perhaps I don't know, a couple of different coolant additives to try and keep it super cool. You know what? We're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. So my shifts are conservative as I'm driving. Not that I don't trust the car, but just moreover, I'm not looking to set any land speed records or anything along those lines. It is a cruiser. It is not gonna be a speed demon. It's not drag racing material, but I can tell you, if you put it up next to an automatic Crown Vic of the same era with similar conditions, it's gonna smoke it every time. That's what happens when you go unscripted. Sometimes you lose your train of thought. Mine just derailed. Yeah, otherwise, there are a few little quirks with the car. The power mirrors are non-operational, which, based upon the size of the car, is a little frustrating. They're also the smallest stinking mirrors on earth. Like, good lord, they are tiny. Alright, so a few more miles into the journey here, and the droning definitely gets to you. It's not to the point of being unpleasant, it's just very repetitive. Again, this car was purchased, and very little has been ironed out as of yet. As you may have seen, Austin's intentions are to swap this engine out with a 351. So right now he's building up the 351 and working on what some of the other aspects of this build are going to be, and you know, because of which we're not necessarily ironing out the little things as of yet, but as I rack some highway miles up, there's definitely some little things. So I'm gonna see just if I move it to vent, if I kick off the AC compressor, as to whether or not that changes part of what it is that I'm experiencing in like a throttle hesitation or a sputter. And just within the last couple of seconds since I said that, I am definitely seeing a little bit of a difference. So while yes, the air conditioner does work, it does create some draw or some potential issues with the transmission. We're just gonna keep on driving though, and I'll check in a little bit. Alrighty. Well, if you watched the Saab video from the other day, I'm on the same little stretch of road, and I can tell you already, this car was not built for this stretch of road the same way that the Saab was. The steering is floaty. I am running about 15 miles an hour slower through these little twists because, well, I just don't fully feel planning. It's not a performance car. It's not designed for handling. It's made to get a massive amount of people from A to B pretty efficiently and effectively and comfortably, and you do lose handling capability when you add in a little bit more of the comfort factor. Not that the Saab is by any means an uncomfortable car, but this is like driving the couch from The Simpsons. It's big, it's floaty, it's not supposed to make you feel as planted and as much one with the road. With this 5-liter V8, even though it actually has about the same power output as the Saab, it's massively more torquey, so because of which it actually feels quicker in acceleration. I almost want to now see if I can set up a drag race between the Saab and the Vic, because it's going to be the battle of the slow cars for sure. But it would be kind of neat just to see which one might actually be faster. Obviously, some of that is going to come down to driver capability and being familiar and comfortable with the car. I am very familiar and comfortable with my Saab. I know generally what it's gonna do with how I treat it. And you know, I think Austin has kind of built about to that level with the Vic here. All in all, driving ability, I'd say we're probably pretty closely matched. Well, this is a fun little road, but I have someone who clearly does not know where it is that they're going ahead of me, so because of which kind of can't open up the Vic as much. Turning at least, which is nice. Now I got a little straightaway before some railroad tracks. It's not fast. That was 48 from probably a rolling 20. But because of the torque band and everything, it feels quicker. It feels more engaging. It feels like you're getting thrown back into your seat. It's probably because you're driving a lazy boy. But you know, that being said, I don't know if I'd want it any other way. It's a unique experience. I think I've really said about all I can say about the Vic. Giggling like an idiot here. Just came across a little bridge, and as I'm, you know, looking to downshift, this thing's bouncing around like you would expect a big floaty car to do, and it just reminds me that I'm driving what I'm driving, and it makes me smile. So, is it practical? No. Is it fun? Absolutely. Would I want to drive it every day in its current state with the door that keeps sticking and the fact that it's running super rich and it doesn't have cruise control? No. But is it a great little getaway from reality? 100%. Please like, subscribe, check it out. Check out Austin Automotive Adventures with Austin, where he's going to go through really the full build on this, and let me know what your thoughts are. I'll talk to you soon.